have blessed me, oh Father, now I dance.
Yulin Alexander loves this one. Dance like a winner this morning. Be a winner today. Yeah. Despite the circumstances of life.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
Yeah.
I dance like a winner man. Oh, when you see me dance, I dance.
To all the early risers, those of you who are up with me from 5 this morning. Mr. Jeremiah, good morning. Miss Jeremiah, how do you do? Hey folks, it's 28 minutes on to 7 o'clock. I implore you to dance like a winner today. That's a nice song. A good way to start the day. I believe that this too shall pass, yeah? Whatever the issues are. Remember, certain people can do certain things as much as they want, but not as for as long as they want, yeah? Yeah. Do you feel oppressed? Do you feel oppressed? You know, there are some folks who use positions to just, oh my goodness me. Maybe I should not start that conversation. Prove them wrong. Dance like a winner. In the face of your adversities. Know that he's going to take care of you, right? Sometimes we say it's easier said than done. You know, people will tell you, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry. And you'd say, listen, you're not in it, so you could say that. But when you're in it, it's a different Sankey. Yeah. 26 minutes on to 7 o'clock. We've got the Hills and Valley Health Tip coming right up. And this morning we'll look at what's the difference between a common cold and allergies. You know, sometimes people mix the two up, eh? Allergies acting up and they say, I had a common cold, I had the flu. Now listen to this. Colds are caused by viruses, while allergies are triggered by the immune system's response to allergens, okay? They have differing durations. Allergies tend to stick around longer than the common cold. The common cold may last 5 to 7 days. Now the symptoms might be similar, but there are a few distinguishing symptoms. No fever. Although hay fever is a commonly used term for environmental allergies, it does not actually cause fevers, okay? Dry coughs. Allergies usually do not cause wet coughs. Itchy eyes, ears, nose, and throat. This usually signals allergies, right? Sore throat and body aches. These are rare with allergies. So know the difference. There is a marked difference between allergies and the flu or common cold, yeah? Remember that. So far for the week, we've looked at, let me go back and see. We looked at how are allergies treated. We looked at what are allergies and what causes them and so forth. We looked at skin rash, swelling of the lips and eyelids, itching mouth or throat, tongue swelling, hoarse voice. All these things we looked at. How are allergies treated? Yeah, we looked at the medications, the decongestion, the antihistamines and so forth. Those, you take showers frequently. We looked at a few of them. Right, we looked at using the saline sinus rinse and everything like that. But the difference, that's what we looked at today. Nice. If the good Lord spare our lives, tomorrow we'll have that quiz. Dance like a winner.
One more time. If you are born again and you know Jesus.
Thel Joe says, good morning, Grenada. Greetings from Maryland. Valerie Thomas, good morning from BVI. Whoa. Rochelle Cummings says, good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Mr. Innocent. Blessed day. Thanks to you. And same to you. Veronica Sandy loves the song. Nice song, Winner Man. Yeah, that is a nice song. A real nice song. A good way to start the day. Yulin, I didn't hear you respond to that song. Are you still dancing? Nice. Let's see who else is on the platform. Veronica Sandy says, good morning, Gordon, Innocent, Joseph, GBN, Grenada. Everyone, bless day to you. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning to everyone. Blessings to all on this thankful Thursday. Have a safe day, everyone. That's Yulin. Jillian McIntyre says, good morning to my favorite one, Mr. Joseph. Happy Thursday. Thanks, Jillian. Nice to have you on the house. Mildred Smith, good morning. Good morning. How you do? Everything good? Margaret Alexander, good morning, Mr. Joseph. Happy Thursday to you and the entire nation. Nice. Good. Yulin was dancing, or she just say laugh out loud there. Yeah, Yulin bossa dance this morning. That's a nice way to start the day. Good morning to you, Erlene. How you doing? Hope you had a wonderful night. Nice. Petlin is in the building. Good morning, Petlin, and the folks inside of Munich. Good. Erlene, you all right? Michelle Bernard. Good morning, Michelle. How you do? You good? Morning to you, Valerie Farre out there in Agai in St. David. Hermelin Bernard, blessed morning, everyone. Greetings in Jesus' mighty holy name. Have yourselves a blessed, wonderful, and productive day. Peace and love. Take care. Now, there's a gentleman that looks like a New York number calling via WhatsApp. Bro, you'd have to call back just a little after 8 o'clock. All right? Or maybe you can send a WhatsApp message. I'm unable to accommodate your call at the moment. I understand you've been trying to reach me. Yeah. Lovely. Let's see what's going on with the program. The word of the day today is a noun. It's a naming word. That word is debacle. Debacle. All right. It is D-E-B-A-C-L-E. That's how it is spelled. And what it means, a debacle is usually used synonymously with fiasco to mean a complete failure. It can also refer to a great disaster, though typically not one that causes significant suffering or loss. That debacle. If you pronounce it in a kind of way, it sounds like devil to it. Nice. It is usually synonymously used with fiasco to mean a complete failure. It can also refer to a great disaster, though typically not one that causes significant suffering or loss. Here's how we can use that word in a sentence. After the debacle of his first novel, he had trouble getting a publisher for his book. After his apparent failure in the first novel. Yeah. Nice. We can also say the state has made a great deal of progress in recovering from its economic debacle. Yeah, nice. Ariel, Kitty Cat, Alwyn, good morning to you all. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning to the folks at Hope. Good morning. Yeah, Ms. Vernis and Mr. Mike. Yeah, don't turn off the TV this morning. Everything good, right? Nice. Ross Stumpy Callis and the family. Kato, good morning. Carol, good morning to you. Yeah, Glenn Belfon. Thomas Mongilero, the Minister of Love and Local Worries, he calls himself. Good morning to the folks inside of Ford. Yeah, the Rennie family. Good morning, Ricky and everybody. Vernis and Trenda and everybody. All right, I'm coming closer to home. Good morning to Telescope and Splendid Songs and the Antwine family. Good morning, Tiger T and Fali. And hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah. Rainbow City All-Stars. We taking the championship this year. The panorama is ours, right? Yeah. We're going to do that this year. Morning, Mama Can and surrounding areas. Yeah, Cafe, good morning to you. Nadisha, how you do? You're good? Hope so. Miss Holmes and family, Holmesy. When two elephants fight, it's only the grass that gets trampled. Yeah. Louis and the family, good morning. Papa Jerry, how things going? How plans coming? The folks inside of Pomerose and Mount Agnes, good morning, Kem and family, your grandmom. I hope she got the thing right. Yeah, Eggies was supposed to drop it off. I hope he did. Eggies, you run away yesterday, coward. Yeah, morning to Cruz and everybody. Curtis Phillip, a.k.a. Peck, good morning. All you're good, nice. Nadisha, this is your thought of the day. We become what we think about. Yeah, we become what we think about. Yeah, what's buzzing this morning? There's something I'm seeing George Worm just sent. Let me see. Okay. Lovely. 17 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. At 15 minutes to, we've got the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather. Well, buzzing this morning, we hear that Caribbean poultry stakeholders meet in Trinidad. The EU also allocates millions in humanitarian aid for Latin America and the Caribbean. In the region, PAHO, that's the Pan American Health Organization, they've got a new initiative to combat fungal disease in Latin America and the Caribbean. Internationally, the U.S. says Boeing can be prosecuted for the 737 MAX crashes. You remember a couple of years back, that new aircraft from Boeing, the 737 MAX. We had a couple crashes, Lion Air. We also had a crash from Ethiopian Air and so forth. Well, the U.S. judiciary is saying that Boeing, that's the manufacturer of these aircrafts, can be prosecuted. And in sports, we hear that more than 200 athletes, they will be competing in the highly anticipated Whitsuntide Games this weekend. Well, today there is a symposium at the Krong Ballroom at the Radisson Grenada for poultry farmers, starting just about 8:30. I'm going to attend that symposium, and all I'm asking for is the price of feed to be reduced. In my humble opinion, that's the only way poultry farmers can make it in Grenada. The cost of feed is too high, point blank. Yeah, let the government do some subsidizing, or if that's what you got to do. But you know, it would be virtually impossible for farmers to make it. At poultry farmers and even pig farmers, ruminants as well. You know, the cost of feed is just too, as Oliver Samuel said, too astrological, man. It's too high. Yep. It's 15 minutes on to 7 o'clock. This is where we take the break. We've got to do the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather. Those of you who are on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Before I run off, I want to say good morning to my cousins, Kita Chaitan, Sylvester, Padi, Sammy, and Auntie Elsa, Trevs, everybody. Pops, good morning. Miss Annie, good morning to you all. Uncle Glide, and good morning. As a matter of fact, good morning to the entire family, the Joseph and Max Wins families, right? This is where we take the break. The AM edition comes up next. Don't you go anywhere. We've got the conversation after 7.
Thanks for joining us. Principals from 2 of the online centers for the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment shared their views at the end of day 1 of the examination. Christina John has this report.
1,707 students across the nation completed the mathematics and social studies components of the 2024 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, the CPEA examination, on day 1 of the examination. On Wednesday, 845 males and 862 females from 72 schools registered for the assessment, which is being conducted at 59 centers throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. 382 students from 21 schools are sitting the examination through e-testing online at designated centers. GBN News team caught up with students from two of the centers where the exams are being done online, the Montmorris Anglican and the St. Louis Girls RC schools. This is the second year the Montmorris Anglican is doing the exam online. Principal Rachel Ford said her school registered 10 candidates, 2 females and 8 males.
Some of our students face a lot of challenges academically, and therefore our teachers practically have to bend backward to prepare them for this day, which sometimes prove to be difficult because we have students who do not always readily attend school on a daily basis, and that can prove difficult for teachers as well. But we try the best we could to get them prepared for today's activity. Well, in recent time and with the global village and having children manipulate devices regularly from since small to now. So they're handling the devices well. The exam is set in a way that it comforts them in a kind of way because it's instrument that they're accustomed to use, and therefore the exam itself is structured in a way that they can go back and forth. So whatever subject they're doing, they have the ability to flag questions that they have difficulty with at the point in time, and if at the end of the paper they have sufficient time, they can always go back to the difficult ones and attempt them. The options are the same. They have 3 choices, and we encourage them that even if they're not sure, they should not leave any question unanswered.
Ms. Ford shared her thoughts on having the exams done online as compared to paper-based.
As a principal, I would love for all students to get the opportunity to attend a higher institution of learning. I don't think our system is readily available for that kind of diversity at this point in time. So it could prove challenging for secondary school teachers to handle some of those who are not academically inclined. So once we have this skill set instituted, I think it would be a really good initiative to give everyone an opportunity.
Lil James Patrice is the principal of the St. Louis Girls RC. She is confident that the 53 students from her school sitting the exam will excel.
They used laptops to sit the exam, but there was a practice session for one of the subjects prior to today. They were able to sit through an entire process of one subject using the device. I expect them to do well. There are a bunch of students who are very committed to their work and to do it excellently, and I know that they've been prepared well by their teachers. Sometimes we focus on grade 6 teachers, but from the inception, KG come right up, they've had the foundation of being prepared to do well, and so we're expecting that they would execute today. I was just reminding them to check over. Sometimes with the excitement of just a click of a button, sometimes they do so very hurriedly, and is going back to make sure that their answers are accurate on what they really want to put. But I think that they did give a very good representation of themselves in terms of their mannerism and their calmness. I must commend them for that because they didn't seem nervous at all. So I guess going forward, they can be examples to the others who may have exam jitters, give them some of their calm tips so that they can do well.
The external examination consists of 4 multiple-choice papers in mathematics and social studies, both completed today, and language arts and science, which will be done on Thursday. Christina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, as students exited the examination centers, GBN's Christina John caught up with some of them and inquired about their experience. Most of them were excited and shared their views.
Pretty good, but some questions I couldn't answer, so I just flag it and then go back to it when I'm done. This one was it was social studies. I good in maths. Pretty pretty good. The maths fly through it, but I thought it was kind of hard. But at the end, I managed to finish it at time.
I was nervous at first. It was nice. Maths was fun. Science was a little social studies. Social studies was a little challenging.
It had a lot of challenges with the internet, but it was okay in terms of the mathematics. It was kind of challenging. It had a lot of working out to do. First I was calm, and then when I went into the exam room and we did the maths and so on, I got excited, and then I just realized it was some work from like past papers, and then it was just simple. Same with the social studies, but some confused me.
I think I would have done much better on paper instead of on the laptop. To scrap paper, to scrap them, but kind of got confused with some of the questions because yes, sometimes the computer could auto-correct some stuff. So some of the questions I didn't really understand. So I was...
Students of St. Mary Catholic St. Mary Girls Catholic School applied some calming tactics, which might just be the approach when anxiety steps in.
What kept me calm was mostly God, because during the examinations I was mostly praying I got this, and they say to do some affirmations, so that's what the counselor said. So while inside I was doing some affirmations I'm smart, I can do this, I got this, and that's what mostly got me calm during the whole examination.
What kept me calm was the support from my teachers, my friends, and my family. It makes me happy to know that there are people to root for me, and I know that I can do it. So that also kept me calm.
What kept me calm was Mrs. Patrice's practice focus on, which is 5 things you can see, 5 things you can hear, 5 things you can taste, 5 things you can smell, and the last one is 5 things that you can touch. So at first I was nervous because first time doing CPA, and I just remembered the rule.
Other news, the Ministry of Health has reported a surge in gastroenteritis cases over the past month, especially among children 5 years and older. Dr. Francis Martin, a medical practitioner, shed light on the nature of the disease and strategies for containment. Renaped Thomas tells us more.
Gastroenteritis, commonly referred to as gastro, is categorized by infection and inflammation of the digestive tract. It is typically triggered by viruses, bacteria, or parasites, manifesting with symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and nausea. General medical practitioner Dr. Francis Martin emphasized the highly contagious nature of the illness, primarily transmitted through the fecal-oral route.
Time of the year, it is quite possible that bacteria might be one of the causes, because it's very dry and contamination can take place in terms of water storage, and that can cause persons to have those type of gastroenteritis. The cause is really from contamination, anal to mouth contamination. So for example, if persons don't practice proper hygiene, they might be able to contaminate an area, and you get it. So it happens through food as well. So those are generally what happens and how people can get gastro.
Coming into contact with vomit from an infected person can also spread the virus. Addressing preventative measures, Dr. Martin stressed the importance of regular hand washing with soap and water, especially after restroom use, before meals, and after touching potentially contaminated surfaces like doorknobs and toys.
Try to be as hygienic as you can. We know people have to store water and so on, but be careful of where you're storing the water and what temperature you store the water at. As much as possible, if you can use water from the commercial areas, usually these waters are very safe, but locally you can also boil water, and that way you get to keep the water nice and safe. Again, with daycares and toddlers it's difficult. The operators have to to try their best to see how they can keep around the place clean. It may not be possible to completely eliminate it, but just try your best to keep it clean.
Although gastroenteritis often resolves within a few days, maintaining hydration is crucial to prevent complications. Dr. Martin outlined the key steps for individuals dealing with the illness.
If anyone gets a gastroenteritis, the first thing they do is avoid eating for 24 hours. Starve yourself for 24 hours, because most likely it's a toxin that's in your intestine and your body just trying to get rid of it. So let the body do that. So no eating of food and bread and milk and all kind of thing, none of that for 24 hours. All you do, you replace the fluid that you're losing, and the fluid you replace it with is clear fluid. The second most important thing is how much do you replace? And you replace by taking sip by sip. If you take a glass and drink, or a box of juice and drink, that can irritate the stomach and cause even more vomiting and diarrhea. So you just need to take sip by sip, and usually if you do this within 24 hours, you'll get over the gastroenteritis.
If symptoms persist beyond 48 hours with signs of blood or mucus in your stool, or if you feel significantly unwell, it's essential to seek medical attention promptly.
Check the doctor if after 24 hours of practicing what I've just said, if you still have the gastroenteritis in the same way, then you check the doctor. Of course, everything is not set in stone, so if you find that the child or the person is extremely unwell, don't wait for the 24 hours, because depending on how severe the gastro is, you can have something called electrolyte imbalance, where your minerals and your electrolytes in your body start becoming imbalanced, and in that case you actually need IV drips or intravenous to replace the electrolytes that you're using.
Individuals with suspected or confirmed gastro cases are advised to avoid communal areas such as dining spaces, gyms, or social settings. These precautionary measures aim to contain the spread of the illness and minimize the risk of further transmission to unaffected individuals. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
In a landmark move, Grenada Cooperative Bank has inaugurated its Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises unit, offering a comprehensive suite of financial services tailored to the needs of small businesses. We get the rest of the details in this report.
The Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited launched its MSME unit during a luncheon held at the Spice Island Beach Resort on Wednesday in an attempt to bridge the gap in support that MSMEs often face, providing them with the necessary resources to thrive. Laurie Lawrence, Managing Director of the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited, highlighted the significance of this development, emphasizing the crucial role small businesses play in the local economy.
We firmly believe that they are the performance sector of our economy. They create by far the most employment, and we certainly want to offer support in particular to the MSMEs. We continue to be of the view that most large institutions, organizations have a proper structure in place, but with small businesses, MSMEs as we categorize them, they lack this support. What they do have is a lot of ingenuity. You have business owners, the small business person who has the idea. What they lack is the sort of HR support. They lack the technical support, the accounting support, which is necessary for them to do banking or for them to qualify for a loan.
The MSME unit is designed to simplify the banking experience for small business owners, offering customized loan qualifications based on the business purpose and operational duration.
So, for example, you would see a business startup would have a different requirement to an existing MSME or small business enterprise who already has a track record. So necessarily it would be to contact the MSME unit through the various officers so that the requirements that the particular applicant will have to fulfill will be communicated.
Importantly, the unit does not impose a cap on financing, giving businesses the flexibility to secure the funds they need to scale their operations.
What you'll find is that the sky is essentially the limit, right? Because It is based on the viability of the business plan that you will find that an MSME client or a business who believes that they are MSME or small business, you have a viable business opportunity, you have an existing, for example, MSME who has a really credible business opportunity. It's a matter of within the bank itself, you can be referred to the business banking or the commercial banking unit if, for example, the requirements is not within the MSME requirement.
Among the attendees at the launch event was Robert Bristol, Managing Director of Bristol's Pest Grenada, Oasis Pet and Garden, and Petco Grenada, who welcomed the initiative with optimism.
Hopefully these types of initiatives could help to fill a gap that has, help encourage small business owners to invest and to want to grow their businesses. For me, I'm looking forward for extensive growth through all the rest of the year, through being able to access money. As we know, without money you can't do anything. Obviously, through the other part of the program with the support, the financial support, the legal support, I think that these types of programs is what helps shapes proper business practices in Grenada, and it aids for successful small businesses, because small businesses today is big businesses tomorrow, as we know, right? And everybody have to start somewhere. So as I said, we have started, and I'm very elated to be a part of this event.
In addition to the MSME unit, the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited also introduced its electronic newsletter, which will be distributed quarterly to keep businesses informed about the latest financial products, services, and support programs available. The launch of the MSME unit marks a significant milestone in the bank's effort to empower small businesses, ensuring they have the financial backing to contribute to Grenada's economic growth. There are over 13,000 MSME enterprises in Grenada. Charian Blackman-Stephen, GBN News.
Wednesday marked the culmination of the two-day G-Cruise Climate Training Workshop aimed at equipping media professionals, NGOs, and environmental groups with the skills to effectively disseminate climate change information to the public. More in this report.
The successful conclusion of the G-Cruise Climate Training Workshop serves as a testament to the collective determination to confront the challenges posed by climate change through education, collaboration, and informed dialogue. Janelle Rubin, communications specialist for G-Cruise, hailed the workshop as a vital step towards enhancing the collective capacity to address one of the most pressing issues of our time. Rubin expressed satisfaction at the collaboration with the Grenada Media Workers Association, emphasizing the importance of such partnerships in fostering informed and impactful climate reporting.
Overall, it was great. I would say our next steps, we would be looking forward to see what comes out of this workshop. The reports that's done by TV, radio, print, also civil society writing their releases, youth organizations, youth environment organizations. So we'll be carefully looking to see what happens over the next couple of months. And thereafter, we will determine, should we need to come back and do another workshop of a similar kind where we can see what were the gaps. Did we miss anything? Is there anything G-Cruise can help? Because from a G-Cruise standpoint, we are dealing with water, climate resilient water sector. That's our objective, to increase the resilience of the water sector in Grenada. And we also need to take into consideration that we have to build the capacity of our media workers, our civil society, our environment organizations in this regard.
Gerard Joseph, president of MWAG, echoed Rubin's sentiments, describing the workshop as timely and essential in light of the increasing urgency of climate-related issues.
It was a wonderful initiative. It was welcomed, especially as World Press Freedom Day celebrated and observed the importance of the environment and respecting press freedom in relation to environment, climate change. So in regards to that, it was a welcome workshop. It just fell at the perfect time, just after we celebrated World Press Freedom Day.
Joseph emphasized that there was a need for greater participation from journalists in the training, recognizing the pivotal role of the media in shaping public perceptions and driving meaningful action on climate change.
The importance of climate change as we face difficulties every day should be paramount for hosting such workshops so they can better represent, better portray, better bring across, better simplify some of these stories relating to climate change to our listening and viewing audience.
Reflecting on the workshop, one participant shared her experience, highlighting the value of the knowledge and skills gained throughout the training.
The 2 days of sessions were very engaging and interactive. I'm very much appreciative of it. It has opened up my eyes into delving further into climate change and how it impacts us. It has motivated me to delve deeper into climate change related stories and to humanize those stories and to show the impacts on the common man and to help our readers and the populace understand better how they can play a role and be a change maker.
As a token of appreciation for their active participation and commitment to learning, workshop attendees were presented with certificates of participation at the conclusion of the 2-day training. The certificates symbolize not only the completion of the workshop, but also the beginning of a journey towards more informed, impactful climate communication. Nisha Peters, GBN News.
Now, the Ministry of Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs hosted a symposium today which attracted a diverse range of participants with a view to driving positive change in addressing sexual abuse. Participants included government representatives, law enforcement agencies, healthcare professionals, legal experts, advocacy groups, educators, and members of the public. Rena Thomas reports.
Held under the theme Amplifying Voices, this symposium sought to chart the way forward in dealing with sexual abuse in Grenada. It brought together stakeholders, experts, and advocates dedicated to creating impactful changes in addressing this crucial issue. The symposium was intended to provide a platform for dialogue, knowledge sharing, and collaboration among key players involved in combating sexual abuse. Through panel discussions and interactive sessions, participants delved into innovative approaches, best practices, and effective interventions to support survivors, prevent further incidents, and hold perpetrators accountable. Minister with responsibility for social development Gloria Thomas in her remarks said that it is crucial to leave no stones unturned when it comes to sexual abuse against women, men, and children.
For far too long, services to victims and survivors have remained ad hoc and riddled with uncertainty. In addition, our society and institutions, like many across the world, have been granting impunity to persons who choose to violate the human rights of women and girls and boys through intimate partner violence, sexual abuse, and sexual harassment. As a country, we recognize that we cannot let these violations go unattended.
Empowering survivors of sexual abuse, providing them with comprehensive support services, and ensuring their voices are heard and valued in the process of seeking justice and healing were among the many discussion points. Minister Thomas also highlighted the 2022-2023 statistics on sexual abuse in the country.
Some information from the Royal Grenada Police Force, crime statistics report for the year 2021 and 22, and analyzed by the Project Coordination and Implementation Unit of the Spotlight Initiative. Grenada, for the year 2022, there were 335 reports of sexual abuse. In addition to this, in January 2023, 42% of all cases in their sizes were sexual offenses, of which 36% involve intercourse with a minor.
Beverly Ann Poyotot, Managing Director of the Child Protection Authority, said while it is important to record reported cases, there are many unreported cases.
When I look at our own statistics from the Child Protection Authority, in any given year, we have numbers that exceed 100. So, for example, in 2023, it was 110 reported cases. And I want to stress on reported because a lot of times we hear the numbers But the numbers are really what we say would be the tip of the iceberg or the top of the iceberg. You know, when you look at an iceberg, you can simply see the top, but you don't know what's on the bottom. So these are only the cases of persons who are dedicated, determined, or who have the presence of mind to report those cases. What about the cases that are not reported? And that is something we need to always think about when we're talking about sexual abuse, and especially when we're talking about sexual abuse of children.
Wednesday's symposium underscores the collective commitment of all stakeholders to amplify the voices of survivors, advocate for systemic change, and work towards a safer and more inclusive society for all in Grenada. Rena Thomas, GBN News.
A press session was held at the ministerial complex on Wednesday as part of activities to mark the observance of International Day of Families. We have more in this Christina John report.
Family Matters, Step Up Your Parenting Game is the theme for this year's observance of International Day of the Family. The focus, according to Minister for Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs, Senator Gloria Thomas, is on curbing the breakdown of values and improving family time. Strong, well-functioning families, whatever the form, can aid in the reduction of poverty, improve the well-being of single mothers, promote gender equality, and promote human rights. The Social Development Minister added that families are the foundation of society and should provide a stable and supporting environment for people of all ages.
It is therefore important to note that the family remains the cornerstone of society, the nucleus around which our lives revolve. And so, as we dedicate this day, May 15th, to recognize the vital role families play in our lives and society, let us recommit to promoting values that will help our families thrive in this challenging world. Parents, I implore you to take charge and provide the necessary guidance to your children so they can succeed and become productive citizens.
May 15th, International Day of the Family, has been dedicated as a day to raise awareness on issues that affect families and increase knowledge on the social, economic, and democratic processes that affect families.
Let us not be discouraged by the seemingly collapse of family values and adoption of lifestyles foreign to our local context. Let us remember, effective parenting begins with the Almighty. And so, parents, we must seek spiritual guidance in our efforts to raise strong, functioning families that can impact society in a positive and rewarding way.
The family's role in climate change has also come under the spotlight for the 2024 observance.
2024 Global International Day of Families will be placing emphasis on how climate change impacts families and the role families can play in climate action. Through family and community initiatives, we can foster climate action with education access to information, training, and community participation. As we journey through to our 50-year anniversary as an independent state, government has pledged to improve the socio-economic position and well-being of the family and intensify international cooperation as
All right, good morning. Welcome. It's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. The conversation this morning, we've got two guests this morning. With me in the studio at this time is brother, and I'm calling him brother Dane Phillip. He is
PRO.
Public Relations Officer for the ex-PRA Association, and subsequent to him we have Pastor Stanford Simon, and I said brother because he's a member of Pastor Stanford Simon's church, and that's a church I visited for a lengthy period in the past, so I call him brother. Before we get into the gist of the matter, though, I need to celebrate someone today. Today is my colleagues and all colleagues here birthday, Mr. Joseph J.C. Cador. Happy birthday, dear Joseph. Happy birthday, dear Joseph. Happy birthday, dear Joseph. Happy birthday to you. All right, you have to pay me for that when you come, okay? But on a serious note, I want you to enjoy the day to the fullest. We at the GBN here, we celebrate you. I know your family celebrates you even more, and you're a good guy. So we're going to knock a glass sometime later in the day, whether it's a glass of orange juice or, non-alcoholic champagne or whatever. Happy birthday to you, bro. And I also want to take the opportunity and say happy birthday to Mr. Lester Carmichael, also known as Wet. He's celebrating his birthday today. Well, the greetings coming from your wife, Corona Carmichael, and the family in Birch Grove, and God's richest blessings to you. Also want to say good morning to Mahalia McDonald from Subies in St. Andrew. Today you're doing your final exam, and we want to wish you all the best from your mom. All right, Mr. Philip, welcome. Welcome. How are you doing?
Good morning to the nation. It's a lovely morning. I'm doing pretty okay.
You sound like a PRA intro boy. To the nation, I'm a PRA politician. How is the ex-PRA Association doing?
Well, so far we are doing pretty okay. We're making strides, and I must say that we're going places.
Okay. Your membership, people gravitating towards the organization, the ex-PRAs and people who are aligned with the People's Revolutionary Army, are they gravitating towards it? You're getting the support that you need?
Well, so far so good, I must say that. Also, not only people that was involved in the People's Revolutionary Army or people that was involved in the process unison, but also young people that was not involved, and people on the whole that was not involved simply because of what we all about the welfare association and meeting the needs of our needy comrades. That people gravitate to that idea and willing to support.
Okay. Yeah. So far, what have you all been able to accomplish in terms of support? What have you all done for your members, your ex-PRA members?
Okay, but before I go into this, we were member of the people. Majority of us were member of the People's Revolutionary Army. And during that process, we was contributing to a credit union fund in the National Commercial Bank in them time. And after the demise of the Grenada Revolution, a lot of comrades went on the wayside.
Okay.
All right, and some was able to stand still, rebound. Some again was able went down the road of the slippery slope, meaning getting involved in things that is not pleasant.
Okay.
And that traumatic period create a lot of social problems for certain comrades. Okay. So we find men at this time because by the trauma and the cast aside, so to speak, of that period, were not able to rebound. So you find a lot of comrades that have mental issues, a lot of comrades living in not that good health condition, poison and so on and so forth. So this organization was formed basically primarily to help those comrades.
Okay.
All right. So far, what we have done is that on that front, we established contact with 3 doctors.
Okay.
We those comrades, we developed an ID card, and that we laminated with a ID card basically, and that honor and privilege to present those cards to those 3 doctors
and get
free medical attention.
Wow,
and in some cases, if they haven't got enough money, they can pay and get it balanced. Free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because an organization like that is very critical. Because whether we like it or not, there must have been some measure of trauma especially those who are actively involved in the army aspect of it, with the events of October the 83 with the intervention and so forth. Grenadians were not exposed to that level of military interactions before. I mean, although many of you all might have been trained abroad, some went to Cuba, some went to Russia, some went to other, of the members of the socialist bloc, but that actual activity of fighting a war, we didn't have that much experience in that, so there must have been some measure of trauma. So I can identify with the fact that some of your members are having mental issues. Have you all ever looked at getting any psychological support for your members?
Well, at this time, as the formation of this organization, we are presently doing just that.
Okay.
Because as I said, it was cast aside, and no authority never see it fit to really understand what was going on among us as soldiers during that period and what we went through.
Right.
So, I mean,
how did you survive that, though?
Well, thank God that I'm alive. I mean, what I went through was not pleasant. Seen a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, and it's just simply because of my family support.
Okay.
And my willingness to survive and to be positive and to be conscious. And never willing to turn my back on that process, but was bold and brave to admit, and to confront my past and to deal with it. So,
right.
but that family support was very critical.
And in addition to that, as I said in our introduction, you're a member of Pastor Stanford Simon's church. So I think the holy intervention came into and even make you stronger.
Well, at least I was 18 going to 19 time of the intervention, and I accept Christ at the age of 44. So you see that gap.
Wow.
So you see that gap. But I mean, during that gap, the Almighty was with me.
Right.
If that went through certain period that was not easy,
But he never leaves us, eh? That's the thing about it. He never leaves us. And I'm happy for your rebound and your ability to withstand that tumultuous time there. So let's piggyback on the association. One of the things that I know you all are doing, because I've interviewed you and other members in the past, you all are always on fundraising drives to ensure that the coffers of your organization are in good standing, so that you can disseminate the support to your members as needed. So you have an event coming up on Sunday, that's the 19th, at the Montrouge playing field. Could you tell us about this?
Yes, we have this event coming up on the 19th, which is Sunday. We call it a family, social, fun, and fundraising day.
Okay.
All right. Basically, what we did, we have sub bodies in different parishes, so we come together, have meetings, and plan these activities. So what it would all be about is fun. We having domino games, card games, draft, chess, football, small goal football, cricket overs, maybe 5 to 7 overs a team, athletics. We have a solid bar, we have food and sale, we have music, and so on. So basically, it's to raise funds to help that cause that we're on at this present time.
In addition to raising the funds, but I also think it's important, it's critically important to kind of re-establish that level of camaraderie together with the flock. Mm-hmm. It gives all an opportunity to interact once again, have fun. Some of you might go back and sit in a corner and chit chat about events of the past, and just rekindle that fire.
Well, that is one of the main objectives of the team, because anytime we gather together, it's always a love, it's always a like a blessing and like a healing for yourself to see comrades that it was an arm who watch your back, who went through certain things with, and some comrades seen comments for years.
Yeah.
And that's the mere fact that we've seen each other, which we do sometimes twice a year, but every time it is a vibes.
Yeah.
Every time it
I
is
like
a
that
vibes.
word. It is a vibes. I like that word. I like that word. So the event on Sunday, what time does it start?
It starts at 10 a.m.
10 in the morning.
Until
the last person leaves.
Well, we have a cutoff point, but
okay. So people who are listening to this, right? Because in addition to the fun and interaction, it is also a fundraising day. What are the fundraising aspect of it?
Well, basically the food.
You're selling it.
Uh-huh. All right. I want to say thank you to Cooperative Grenada that we get assistance from them through, assistance for different means.
Okay.
Stuff,
And will there also be the opportunity where well-wishers of your organization can come forward and say, I want to contribute, I want to donate $1,000, I want to donate $50. Would you accommodate that as well?
Well, to be honest, it started already.
Okay,
it started already. So we are, as I mentioned, that we're asking the nation and all to come along, support us, and donate to this worthy cause, this welfare cause, because it could be so many of their brothers, their sisters, their mom, their dads, their uncle is going through that trauma and that experience which I spoke about recently.
Yeah, it's important that people get to understand that. To some, right, the days of the revolution from 79 to 83, some people call it the darkest days, but whether it's dark to you, to others it was the brightest days. They were the brightest days, and it's all part and parcel of our history. It all encompasses the history of Grenada. And if you look at other regional territories, they might not have had an active military revolution per se, but if you look in the distant history, it's not something new to us as a people in the region. So it is important, hence the reason why I say it's important that we give them the support, the support that they need, because the XP Association, what they're doing is actually trying to keep that group of people secured in the sense that for some reason some of them cannot meet their daily needs and the medical bills and all the traumatizing issues that come along with it. So it's important that we go out and support.
Exactly, because what we also do, we give food baskets. Some of them need Pampers, walkers, and such. We give transportation to the children, buy school books and support to the kids. So on many fronts we are. But as you mentioned, the dark days, I must say that the bright days that period is existing, and we will never able to erase. For example, the international airport, NIS. Yeah. And there are many professionals that was created during that period.
Yeah.
So the lights, the light of that period dispelled the dark.
Yeah.
In this dispensation.
Hence the reason why I said to some, because there are some people whenever you talk about the revolution, sometimes all they have in their mind is those are the darkest days. But for many who are fair in judgment, they could say, well, yeah, like everything else, the revolution had its pros and its cons. We also have to remember that some people's poison is some people's favorite food. You understand? So hence the reason why I say, but in the final analysis, that era has come and gone, but it's important that we celebrate that aspect of our history and the people who contributed towards that aspect of our history.
Well spoken.
Yeah. You're fine.
Well spoken.
I sound like a politician.
You sound like a true Christian.
All right.
Forgiveness, reconciliation.
But of course, that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Well, I want to, as always, we at the GBN here would give all the support that we can give. Of course, whenever Dean has the ability to just come and knock on the door, and then I look through the window in the studio and I see Dean standing there. That's his family to us. Now Asa is always part of us, and so you always are welcome here whenever you have the need to be here. So I want to wish you all the best coming on Sunday, and folks, go out and support. It's a good day. Bring the family out from 10 in the morning and interact with the guys. Whether you have family members who are part and parcel of it or not, it's a good opportunity to just go out and socialize, isn't it?
Excellent, yeah. Okay. I mean, it will be a love.
Okay.
It will be awesome.
and walk with a contribution. Go support the food stalls and the bar and walk with a contribution, because they are indeed fighting for a worthy cause to support the membership who have their issues.
Before I leave, I also want to mention this government. From since the demise of the Green Revolution, this is the only government that ever seen fit to somewhat meet with us and address our issues and our concerns. So I want to big them up and say thank you to the Prime Minister and his team.
Okay, PM Deacon, a good report here from the XPRAs Association, and I am very certain that he will remember those comments.
Yes.
Brother Dean, thank you for dropping by, and see you on Sunday.
God's will.
All right.
Thank you.
Folks, we take that break. We'll be back after these messages. I do have Pastor Stanford Simon on the resumption of the conversation. See you then.
Get ready to witness the ultimate showdown of athleticism and adrenaline. The Whitsuntide Games are back, and they're bigger and better than ever before. Join us on Saturday, May 18th at the electrifying Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The action kicks off bright and early with the morning session starting at 9 a.m. sharp. Watch the best local and regional athletes go head-to-head in a battle for glory and supremacy. But wait, the excitement doesn't stop there. As the sun sets, the evening session ignites at 4 p.m. promising even more heart-pounding action and jaw-dropping performances. Secure your spot now. Finish line A, lower and upper, $30. Finish line B, lower and upper, $25. General admission, main stand, $20. Get them now at gotofed.com. Mark your calendars and be there to cheer on your favorites as they strive for victory at the Whitsuntide Games 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for Grenada to laugh again. Heritage Theatre presents Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024, Saturday, June 22nd and Sunday, 23rd June at the Trade Center in Grandance, and on Sunday, 30th June at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime, 7 p.m. every time, featuring some of Grenada's best ambassadors of comedy: Robert White, Dillion Walters, Kareem Alexis, Dale Bola, and other outstanding comedic performances, all coming to knock you off your seats with laughter. Get your tickets now. Bring out the entire family. Tickets are $60 and available at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grandance, Gittins Health and Wellness at all outlets, Art and Soul Bookstore, Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, downtown St. George's, Calico Supermarket, Grenville and Sutairs, St. David's Pharmacy, and Go to Fet. It's time for Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024.
From the fertile heart of Grenada to the far reaches of the globe, Ram's Supermarket brings together the best of both worlds. Savor the freshest, locally sourced produce from our trusted Grenadian farmers and explore a curated selection of top-quality international favorites. Experience a shopping journey where warmth meets a world of flavors and affordability meets premium quality. At Rams, we welcome everyone to discover the joy of global and local culinary delights. Nestled in Sugar Mill, Grand Anse, we are open all week to offer you a taste of home and beyond. Rams Supermarket, where our family, community, and the world come together. We are the good food people.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. The conversation continues. It's 24 minutes on to 8 o'clock. And of course, with me in the studio is an ex-officio member of the GBN. Stanford is always here. Pastor Stanford Simon. I could call him Stanford. We're that good.
No, they're good. Of course you can. I have absolutely no problem.
Welcome as always. And it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Yeah, good morning. It's always a pleasure and joy to be here. The last couple of days, have been traveling since the year started. I've been traveling quite every month. I've been out of the island. Now come out from Tennessee with Carter and Charlotte Davis in Knoxville. That was a beautiful visit. They're 83 years of age, and they're still as sharp, very involved in the church service, very involved in mission, very involved in the lives of people, and reaching the younger people. They're 83. They're transformational leaders who continue to amaze me, and so I'm grateful for them. Most people would remember Charlotte and Dr. Davis by the dentistry that they had here, but they were missionaries here for 20 years, and so it's 28 years since they left Grenada. But they send their greetings to Grenada and all the people that they have served, and they miss Grenada. Charlotte, she missed Grenada. People miss the food, so it's really, really nice to have visited with them.
Yeah. Are they going to visit us soon?
I don't know if they want to travel, but they are very hopeful. They want to see Grenada again before they move to heaven. Before they move.
Before they move to heaven. Okay. Well, it's as I said, it's always good to have you in the studio. And in a pre-conversation, I was talking about how I got involved with listening Pastor Stanford Simon. I always wanted to know who is this guy. I was giving him the history of how I started listening the program. I was going up to my farm in Monlong a Sunday afternoon, and that program was just playing on the radio.
That's the Encounter program.
And at that time you were planning, you and Pastor Warm was going to Africa.
2002, 2003.
Yeah, and from that I've never really missed one of your programs, because the thing I appreciate about your program is that it's real. You listen to other religious or gospel programs, and the main focus is trying to prove whether you're good or bad and if you're going to go to heaven or hell. But your program is to me is more realistic. It's real. It's life issues.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I started the program. Matter of fact, when I started the Encounter program, Christians criticized me because I was playing reggae and calypso and R&B and those kind of music, and the discussion I was having was different to what people, Christian, especially a pastor, normally have. And I did say to them when they speak to me, I said, well, it's a plus having you. This program wasn't designed for you, so having you on is a plus. So who the program is designed for? It's for people who do not go to church. The program is intentional. It's not just doing a radio program. It is for people who do not go to church, have no interest in church. And those are the people I have been trying to reach and continue to try to reach, and that's the purpose of the program. But persons who come and who are believers, I am very happy that they are listening, but the program was not designed to reach them. It was designed to reach persons.
With that concept in mind, has the program borne any fruits?
Oh, yeah. A whole lot of fruits. A lot of people have given their life to Christ. A lot of people have changed. I've seen over and over again how people's lives have been impacted, not only in Grenada, but even when I travel. You meet persons who say, I listen to you every Sunday. This has happened to my life. I'm going to church now. My family is now, changed. I've changed jobs. I'm doing a new business. There's so much I've seen out of it. I'm doing this program over 20 years. Encounter. I've never stopped up. No matter where I go in the world, one thing I make sure there's internet.
Okay.
So I can do the program. So I never missed a program in 20 years.
And something again that is admirable is the fact that even up to today, you personally and the flock which you lead, the St. George's Baptist Church, people who know would realize that it's evident that you're just not the regular pastor that preaches about, you know, the heavenly things and so forth, but your mission seems to be empowering people. I heard you say it time and time again, preparing people to live in heaven, but teaching them how to live on earth.
And that is critical, because the mission of our church is empowering people to enjoy prosperity and fulfillment in life. And we are clear as a church that as much as you teach people to go to heaven, they'll live here, and you must teach them to live here. And what we as a church have failed, especially in the Caribbean, to help our people to develop. The prosperity gospel has hit us in such a way, and we grab it. We evangelical churches have hold on to this prosperity gospel. That is dying now, because people realize that really don't work. Really, it works for the preachers and for those who are saying it, but not for the ordinary persons who they reap the benefit of being involved, but not for the people who are giving. So we are strong believer of empowering people. I'm a strong, as a pastor. Also, I'm a businessman. All right, and so I'm clear about understanding business and helping people to develop, but also the clarity of building generational wealth. How do you create that where you can live comfortably as an individual? I'm not talking about a Christian, as an individual, but help your family to be better in the next generation. That is important, because the more I am building wealth, is the better I can serve God, the better I can give to ministry and help to empower persons who need help. So it's critical for me to be financially stable and to be in a position of helping person to be in a better place. For instance, we are preparing now to do a series of lectures, and one of them is commercial and investment money management, and that will be presented by Richard Duncan on the 8th of June.
You couldn't have found a better facilitator
at the St. George's Baptist Church. No, right. So that's what the things that we are thinking through. And on the 21st, we have Sister Matonia Monroe. She's doing relationship and money management, and that's for couples. And then on the 6th of July, we have TechU Credit Union in Trinidad coming up, and they are dealing with the technology and AI, which is a problem that we have, and they are joined with the Guardian Group. These are the kind of places that our church is going, and the people that we are looking to bring in, and it's all free to be able to help person to understand things are changing, and therefore AI and technology, how the church would use, but also how companies need to be prepared, because the banks are being hit, individuals being hit, they're losing their money, things are happening. And then on the 13th of July, we are dealing with Dr. Wendy Grenade. She is dealing with church and politics, which is an issue that I keep saying. The church, this idea that the church should not be involved in politics is a Western pushing narrative that is pushed to us, that we live in a small society. We cannot be neither 100,000 people, and you tell me your people cannot be involved in politics. The church should say separate from. It cannot. Your people are part of it, and therefore it will be involved. There's a separate line where you say the church should be at a place where it could speak to the power that be, but the individuals who attend the church, they need to be involved in the political landscape to be able to help our people to be better, because the better leaders we have into politics is the better outcome we would get. The problem, what we're having today, because the leadership we're having today and where people are going in politics, is because the church members and pastors has preached the church should be separate, and people have left the political landscape, and therefore we're having the leaders that we have. having, not the leaders we used to have, because the leaders we used to have, where the bedrock was the Bible, and therefore there's so those are the things I think that's important when you look at this, the scope of where we are as a people and as a church. We believe that we need to be totally involved.
Someone says here, I listen to Pastor Stanford Simon regularly every Sunday, whether home or abroad. I like his real attitude and his music selection.
Oh, thank you.
me says that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there's also a question I always ask. What is it? Because I know your schedule. You're a busy man. Whether you're here or you're abroad, you're always on the move, but you keep looking younger.
Well, the grace of God.
I knew that was going to be the answer, but I was hoping for another answer.
Well, I can't say anything. Well, I eat well. I eat well. I don't exercise as much as I should, but I watch my diet. I watch what I eat. That is very clear. I try to eat on time, and it's what you put in your mouth. I always say to people, what you put in your mouth is key to your health.
Okay.
The one thing I suffer with at this point is high blood pressure.
So, welcome to the club.
Right. So I have to manage that. Outside of that, I have no other health issues, and I thank God for that.
Yeah.
And the opportunity has given to me to be healthy.
I usually tell people I'm on a seafood diet. Once I see food, I eat it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So, Pas, one of the things that we've promoted from since last year and into this year was redemption.
Yes.
And it's culminating, is this Sunday?
Yes, this Sunday. The final one is in Carriacou.
I remembered early up when we started promoting it, I insisted that we go to Carriacou. You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
And I am happy to, to know that we're climaxing it in Carriacou. Tell us about this.
Well, let me just, for people who do not know, the Ajamo, as you know, that he gave his life to Christ, and we thought, joining with him, this real change that he have made, and going around the country, God just laid on my heart to go with him around the country so we can present something different. And the title was, it started in January 2023, was Redemption. And this man, and we went to each of the parishes right around the country, ended in July, and we promised Carriacou that we would go with them. You know, many persons give their life to Christ. A family's life was transformed. A young man met me and he said, I give my life to Christ in redemption, and now, I'm doing so well. I said, great. He used to smoke and drink, and, his life is... But those are the kind of things that we do, and the Ashamo, his new genre of music, presented that across the country. And we say to Carriacou, hey, we promise you that we want to be there with you, and those we want to keep that promise. So on Sunday, we are in Carriacou, 4:30, and we are in the town, and at the tennis court, and we will be doing there from 4:30 in the evening. The Ajamo will be presenting his music, and also you have preaching. You have the worship team from the St. George's Baptist Church.
Excellent team.
Yeah. So we have that, and we also thought it was important to be able to people get into Carriacou who want to go. A person who haven't been to Carriacou for a very long time. So we have spoken to Clement, who is the owner of Osprey, and they have so graciously joined with us and in helping us and say, okay, fine, this is what we will do. They're making a special trip on Sunday. And that is for leaving at 9 a.m. in the morning, and they would return at 9:30 p.m. We're leaving Carriacou at 9:30. So the program from 4:30 to 8, and then the boat leave at 9:30. And the cost of it, which is, so the cost we have for the boat is $120, and then we have $10, which you pay for the transportation from where the boat normally land.
Windward.
Not
Windward.
Harveyville, right?
Yes.
Right. So $5 to go and come, which is $10. So the total trip costs $130. All right. And so if we leave on Sunday morning, we say to persons, hey, this is a great time. One, you'll get an excursion to go to Carriacou, which is reasonable with the cost. Normally, I think $160 or $80 for it. You get that. If you could take your family there, but an opportunity to go there for a day and spend the day. You go in the morning, but you're not coming down at 3 o'clock. So you had the whole day there to go and see Carriacou.
Yes.
You get the redemption and the opportunity to see the Ajamu. Those were supporters and have been. And then you still get to come back home, which then really puts you in a good position. So we are really excited about that and spoken to Clement. He's willing and ready, and we hope persons take the opportunity to join us on that trip, especially persons who have been listening to the program, who have been involved with supporting the St. George's Baptist Church, who have supported me in all my programs I've done across the year, who are supportive of the Ajamu. I think it's just great for us to just go up to Carriacou and spend the day and just have fun. And price is good, $120 for the boat. You have the $10, you pay your bus back and forth. Really, you cannot ask for...
Yeah, that's a treat. That's a still of a treat. Well, someone says, good morning to you all at the GBN, listening and viewing from London. I love listening to Pastor Simon. I think he is a very genuine person. He always addresses the real issues.
Yeah.
All the way from London. Someone says, Mildred Smith says, tell Pastor Simon good morning for me. Pastor Simon, good morning.
Good morning,
Mildred. And Mimi says, I am happy to see his face, so I know what he looks like.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, because I'm not the social media type. People are always on social media. Yeah. If you see me on social media, it's through my church.
Okay.
Or like I'm here. But it's really good. I really want to thank the persons who have supported me and supported what we do at our church. Because St. George's Baptist Church, we are about transformational things and helping persons to be better. So think about the Ajamu. He came to our church, come from the background of singing calypso. Most churches would have a struggle with that because this calypso music but that's who he is. That's what God have blessed him with. That's a genre of music. That's our music. And we as a church find it very, very, very exciting and helpful to be able to support him in what he do and to ensure that he succeed. And last night I was speaking to him and he was saying, Pastor, I'm so happy. I am so happy with this decision I made. It's the best decision I've made in my life. And I feel so good after the fear and uneasiness he have, what would happen with, because that's his income. That's how he live. It's like me, I'm a contractor and therefore if you don't do that, how do you pay your bills? How do you take care of yourself and your family? But I'm so happy to hear him say, I am so happy.
Well, I know. I think that Ajamu and I are really close as well. And throughout his journey, that new walk he has ever so often. I mean, I haven't seen him in recent times because he was out, but. When I would go and sit with him in the yard,
right,
and Beauty would come and play with me, and he would say, "Beauty doesn't forget," and stuff. And he always re-emphasize the fact that this is the best decision that he has ever made. Kingman, good morning to you. All right.
No, I'm really happy that he is, because there's always a concern and fear. And as you know, because the genre of music is not accepted by the Christian community, especially in Grenada.
Why?
Because I think it's of our selfishness and think that we have the claim to heaven. It's a problem that we Christians have, that we somehow think that, and some denominations believe that they alone going to heaven and everybody else going to hell. And if you don't come to their particular religion, you will not end up in heaven, which is flawed, which is not helpful to us and to people. And I do believe that Christians somehow, I think some people are changing that, because some churches, as I was in Tennessee, and you realize Dr. D was talking, we were sharing and looking at some of the churches that are dying. There are churches that are dying, and because they do not want to change, they don't want to adapt, and they feel that they have the keys to heaven, and seriously, that they are losing their influence in our community. They are losing their influence in the country because they do not want to change. And I do believe for us to impact the country, the churches have to get involved, and but moving a bit to the crime situation and the gun situation we faced in our country. It is a serious problem. I remember 15 or 20 years ago when the gang problem erupted, and it was bad. I mean, it was really bad. Guys was getting killed, and it wasn't gun, it was knife. then that they were knifing each other, and it was really, really bad. And I remember listening and saying to myself, no, this can't be. We have to address it. And I took the lead, and Peter David was part of that, and bring 21 gang leaders together upstairs in George's Baptist Church and meet. And that's how we resolved the issues. The issue with that, the church took an initiative and said, okay, let's talk, and brought them together. And they realized that a lot of stuff that they were hearing from there is not really true. And therefore, that brought calm to it. And I think there need to be a clear directive of how do we address the issue of, one, I think the government need to address the issue of the gun problem. They need to secure our borders and deal with coming through the port, however it's coming in. And I think the penalty need to be much stiffer for people with guns. It's too light. I think they need to go and change the law. I think they need to change the law and to be able to make the penalty much stiffer. That's one. I think we, the churches, we have pulled away from a lot of our community events and activities that have allowed young people to grow up without God. I mean, we say we're a Christian country, but a lot of young people do not go to church. Even in schools, as we growing up, when we used to pray and have devotion and all those things in school, that is long gone in some of the school, and if it is, it's very on a small scale. We have the influence of social media, which is coming into our homes and by the cellular phone for young people, so they're looking at what's happening and trying to duplicate that. And it is a question of the drugs and alcohol. We do not want to speak about it, but we are the highest consumer of alcohol in the Western Hemisphere. It's bad per capita. We are bad when it comes to consuming of alcohol, and the entrance of drugs into our country have been there, but even worse. And I always say it's not the poor people that bring in drugs, it's the business people, it's the people with money. They are the ones that bring in the drugs. It is not the poor people. The poor people are the one only sell it.
They're the mules.
And consume it. Of course.
Yeah, the mules.
It's the people with the money. And therefore, they need to be held responsible. But the church need to move out from within our four walls and spend more time in the community. We need to get back in the sports group, in the activities of the community, create opportunities for young persons, and not only think about church on Sunday morning. We think about the football team, the netball team, the athletics club. How are we involved? Like Brother Dana saw him this morning. That's the other thing about our members. They're involved in community events. Get your members involved in the community events and get the young persons and reach out to them. We have to. That's the only so that we will save them.
We're running out of time before we do the wrap. Someone on WhatsApp says, "Good morning, Pastor Simon. Give my regards to Dr. Carter and his family. His wife gave me my first piano lessons."
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. They are wonderful people and ready to. But as I end, I really want to reemphasize Carriacou. It's important that we persons get on board and come. I think it will be great if we collectively can be in Carriacou. We invite you to come and be a part of that. The boat leave at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, and we go up for the Carriacou. If you want to come back up come back down on the Monday or the Tuesday, it's fine. It's the same 120. Once you go up on Sunday, $120. That's it, and then
that's a steal of a deal.
$10 for your bus back and forth from Harveyville.
Yeah. May is very interactive this morning. She says, "Sorry, I'm not home and missing that trip. Home, I will be there for the next one. Hope I will be there for the next one." And she also says, "The churches want to be at the altar, not the streets."
I couldn't say it better. Good. I could not have said that better. She said it well.
Yeah.
And that what need to happen. That the church need to be more.
You need to go where they are.
We need to go where they are. And I keep saying that we are shady when coming to dealing with the issues of the community. We're very bold about heaven and hell, but when coming to deal with the day-to-day issues, we stay silent. Pastors don't speak as much because they want to be on the safe side of people. I am not on the safe side of God and the law of the land. That's what I am. That's the safe side for me, the law of the land and my relationship with God. That's the safe side. And we as churches need to understand we have a responsibility to deal with the issues we are confronted with, to be clear on them, but also to be integrally involved in the daily activities of the church and of the world. So Sunday, Carriacou, the redemption, the final redemption will be happening in this. What was the name of I always forget in my head.
Hillsborough.
Hillsborough.
Tennis court.
Yeah, tennis court.
Yeah.
The town, Carriacou Hills, Hillsborough. So we invited persons to come and to be a part of that. It's $120 for the bus, for the boat. Return trip if you want to come down on Tuesday. Monday's a holiday, on Monday or Tuesday, and then you have the $10 for back and forth from Harveyville, and that's the trip. It's a deal of a steal, and we want to thank Osprey, really thank Mr. Clement, his team, and the management of Osprey for making this available to us. And that's, again, the church working with the business community to be able to do something
to make it happen.
And to make it happen. Thank you so much.
Pastor, we're out of time. A week with Pastor Simon Daly, Alistair Warwood says that. Coylan Nash says good morning.
Good morning.
Folks, this is where we end the program for the morning. Thank you for being a part. Not much interactions this morning, but nonetheless, I do hope that something that was said here would, change you positively. We've got to go. We've got to join the BBC. Thank you again, Pastor.
Thank you.
Yes, good. All right, we'll be back.